Hey guys, Crazypostman here. Will you join me back at my parents' house with the TerraMow V1000? Today what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more area to it and see how much it can handle back under the heavy tree coverage of the backyard here. So as you remember in the first video, this is the area it was responsible for mowing, and then extending off over in this direction. This was the area that it's currently responsible for mowing. What we're gonna do, we're gonna add a second area back here that's going to extend from the edge of its current area back here underneath all this tree cover. Maybe to this low area here. Not sure. Not much of an extension, but we can go that direction as much as we need to once we get back here to kind of stretch it to its maximum abilities. But there's plenty of things back here that it's going to have to avoid, and a regular RTK mower might have some problems because the heavier tree cover. So we'll have it maybe go to the edge of this old playhouse here and then go back that way, and then just kind of cover this area here. So let's go back and get the robot and get this started. So here is the first thing we're going to do. We're going to go into map edit mode. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add a new zone. You can see here on the map, add via map editing or add via manual control. And we're going to do manual control. So we're going to start remote control.
Start remote control.
Editor Crazypostman here. So my plan for this area, since these zones are going to touch each other, is I'm going to go right to the edge of where it's identified grass. And then I'm going to do a very short little pathway, just like a few feet into the next zone, because it's literally just going to be connected, and I'm going to delete that pathway later. I'm just kind of using that pathway to expedite the mapping process, because if I deleted this virtual fence between the zones, it would eventually explore out here anyway, but I want to hurry up the process, so I'm treating it like it's a completely separate zone that I'm having to drive to. I hope that makes sense. This little tiny pathway that I draw, I will delete later, and it'll just be an open area, and we'll end up dividing it into a second zone, which y'all will see later. So we're going to say set as start point. So now we're going to go into an area that it hasn't explored. So we are there. That didn't take long because we were right at the edge of our area.
Pathway setup successful. Resuming mapping.
I paused it because now I'm going to have to get ready to put in virtual boundaries, new virtual boundaries. So now you can see what we did here out on the edge. There's so many mosquitoes here. I have like 4, 5, 6, 7 mosquitoes just on me. We're going to have to go into this no-go zone editing. Add a few virtual fences in out here. And again, we'll have to fine-tune these later once we figure out where they actually go or are. But for right now, I'm going to create a box that it can't escape out of. We got this area somewhat boxed in. I'm going to go get the time-lapse camera, and then I'll hit resume and allow it to start mapping. We are now exploring this area. For some reason, my mom felt the need to come out here and start mowing right when I was filming, but that's okay. I guess she's got stuff to do. So it's just going to continue to explore this area. I will just leave the time-lapse here running, and we'll see how it goes. We got a hanger on her. Uh-oh. I just pulled it off its little... There it goes. Wow, that was stuck in there. I had to break the stick to get it out. Hopefully that didn't mess up its little track. That is not the first time that has happened. Some sticks seem to be the right diameter to just fit right in those treads on the back tire and get stuck. Well, it seems to have tried to enter this. I figured that would be enough of a barrier to keep it out. Let's see. Evidently, let me get rid of this stick. Evidently, that was not a clear enough barrier, and it tried to go over it. I'm surprised. Let's see what it's going to do on the way back. I mean, that looks like a pretty clear barrier to me. Nope. It did it again. Alright. I'm going to have to tell it to pause.
Task paused.
And we're going to have to make this a no-go zone here somehow. We'll do a circle one. It's probably about where it is. I don't know if it's that big. Let's save that. And then tell it to continue.
Task resumed. Resuming mapping.
I think it saw this as an obvious boundary, but because I put that giant grass cutting zone across this whole area just to kind of help it map a little quicker, it's possible that I'm the cause of this little incident over here. So keep that in mind. If it would have been mapping completely on its own without me messing with the grass cutting zone, it might have not done that. Still waiting on the TerraMow to finish up mapping here. I sent out the Luva to go tackle some of the big stuff. It's about to have a rough day. Lots of big stuff back there. Little Terra here is still mapping away. The only reason it's going over there into that bare area is because I have it set as a grass cutting zone. Whenever it's done mapping, I'm going to remove the grass cutting zone so it'll only cut where it thinks it should cut instead of out here in the dirt where there's nothing. I just put that big grass cutting zone on there to make the mapping go quicker and smoother. Except it backfired on me over here. I went ahead and deleted the grass cutting zone off the map just to see what happens. You can already see when I deleted it, it made it very patchy, kind of behind me. I don't know what will happen when I have it actually come mow the area over there, but it looks kind of weird now. You can see little rows of zone and then gaps. So not sure what's going to happen over there when I tell it to come mow, but I deleted all the grass cutting zones just to see what it would do if it keeps it out of trouble. So here at the end, you're going to see that it got stuck quite a few times, and I'm still not quite sure why this happened. I assumed it was happening because of the poor grass quality. There's a lot of just dirt patches out here, so I kept adding grass cutting zones to try to help it out. This happened enough times that I sent a trouble report to TerraMow, and they think they found a bug with it not wanting to return to home. So they sent me a hot fix, and this literally happened in 8 hours. So kudos to the team for checking this out. So you can see here that it says failed to return to the base station. Please place it back in the base station manually. And I sent that trouble report in. 8 hours later, I have a hot fix update that fixes the problem. TerraMow is awesome. It just got stuck right here, and I got a message that said the robot's stuck, please clear the area. But all it was it was in an area that was dirt and it couldn't proceed forward. Remember, I had the grass cutting zone on this area. Well, I removed it. Now that I added the grass cutting zone back, now it's not stuck. So I don't know if that should have been a problem right there. So it got itself stuck again. I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, it's down here in an area of grass. There's just a bunch of leaves on the ground. I'm not sure why it's stuck. Not a very good area of grass, but it is what it is. A shady backyard amount of grass. I guess I will put another mow box here and see if it will continue on. I edited a mow box into that area and it resumed all by itself. So yeah, that's a strange error. You know, maybe it has something to do with me removing that large mow box on the map. But I just don't know if it's my fault or not. It stopped again. Do you think it's gonna go, Duck? Is it gonna go? Do you want upsies? Upsies? Well, it's gotten stuck probably 4 or 5 more times, and I just don't know what's going on with it. I was trying to add another grass cutting zone where it's at, and it just ended the task. So I told it to continue mapping, and now it says it's going to the base station. Please place Terra back in the base station. I'm gonna have to upload a trouble log and see if maybe they can tell me what I did wrong here. So I guess I'm gonna manually carry it back to the base station, and we'll have to count this as an L, because that sure as heck didn't work like it was supposed to. Whether it was user error or robot error, don't know. As soon as I got over here to turn off the time-lapse recording, which was running right here, it backed out, and I guess it's going to continue mapping. It just said something about finished mapping, returning to the base station. So all it did was back out and then go back. Well guys, we're already 14 minutes into this video, and this is really only about half the content I had. So we're going to go ahead and cut this into 2 parts so it doesn't get too long. Sometimes my videos can get too long. So here in part 1 was mapping the area. Part 2 is going to be mowing the area. And I find out that we didn't add enough area. We're going to have to add a bit more area to fully maximize the 1,000 square meters or the 10,000 plus square feet. So in part 2, we're going to mow this area, and then we're going to add some more to it to fully maximize the 1,000 square meters. And then here, you're going to see a whole bunch of options. But we want to add a, whoa, golly, a freaking big freaking bee. Oh my gosh. That thing hovered right in my face. I don't see where it went. It doesn't seem to matter whether I'm at home or here at my parents' house. There is always a helicopter flying over the top of me. Let's see which helicopter it is. Oh, that's the same one. That's the same one that flies over my house. And I'm 40 miles away. What the heck?